Well, off to another adventure. This time we're pretty close to Palo Verde, California. It's almost on the Arizona border. It's the 18th of January 2014. And today we are looking for geodes. The last time I was here was about 15 years ago. So I plugged everything into my GPS unit, planned the route to get here. Thought I was doing myself a favor by cutting off 4 miles. And it ended up costing me probably an hour in travel time to make up those 4 hours, because we definitely were doing some off-roading today. Mark is here with me, and the area we're at is known as the Hauser Geode Beds. I'll give you a quick panoramic here in just a minute. And there's Mark back at it with me. But if you look around, beautiful, beautiful area. And the primary place that we're going to be digging, I don't know how clearly it shows up here, but there are some areas that have like a green ash layer, and the geodes are found primarily in that green ash layer. So we're going to go down in this little ravine right here where there's a lot of that exposed, start digging and see what we can find. I guess I'll be back when we find something.
Hello everybody, welcome to this adventure edition of Buzz and Mark's Adventures out in the middle of nowhere. Today, as Buzz explained earlier, we are hunting geodes. Right now I'm in a layer of red caliche and also the green ash that Buzz had talked about earlier. Most of you know Buzz by Levon. I call him Buzz because that's what I knew him by on the ship we met each other on. So here we are, we're looking for geodes. We're looking, it looks like we have one right here. And we're going to go ahead and dig that one out. And nope, that was not one, as it just fell apart on me. But it did look promising. But if you look over there in the bucket, we did find what appeared to be others in there. But also, Levon had found one possible one in his hole he was digging at. So why don't we switch over to Levon and see him dig his hole.
Alright, so Mark thought he found one. Ended up being a broken piece with a round edge. I've been digging a little pocket here that's produced like 5 or 6 of them here in the last few minutes, and I think I found one more. It's starting to play out on me. At least I think it is. It's really hard digging. This stuff has been here for a while, and even though it's a little wet, it's almost like digging in soft concrete. So I'm going to dig down there a little bit and see if we can get one to pop out. If you look at the end of my shovel right there is the one that I think that I found, and you can see that it is just next to impossible to break much out of there. But if you're persistent, yeah, now I'm not so sure that that's one either, because it's lodged in there and it's seems to be attached to this other piece right there, so that may not be one either. Might have to well, it's starting to come loose a little bit. And doesn't really look like that's going to be one either. It might have a hollow on the inside of it, but it's probably filled with solid material, not a true geode. So I guess I'll keep digging and see if I can find one so you can actually watch me pop out a nice round one. See you then. Alright, so we're going to try this again. We're still working in the same little pocket. I think that if you look, I got caliche that comes all the way down to about here. And then right here I've got like a ashy layer. And this isn't quite as green as I've seen, but I'm thinking that this right in here might be a little geode or two. I'm going to try to pop them out on camera. And that might be. But again, it's not perfectly shaped. It's not very big. May or may not be. Won't know till we cut it open later. So hopefully at some point I'll get these things cut and can pop them into the video and show you what they are. Alright, well, made it back home safely. It was definitely an interesting trip. That 4-mile shortcut that I took us about an hour longer to get where we were trying to get to than it needed to. So next time I know how to get there. But that's really what this trip was all about, was making sure that I knew how to get there so when I take other people, I don't make the same mistake that I just made. So anyhow, on to what we managed to come home with. Start out with the small stuff, as you can see. Some of them like a big marble golf ball. There's one that has been broken open, so I grabbed it because I could see that there was a cavity inside. None of these are cleaned except for a couple that look interesting. This is another half one that I picked up that somebody else had left behind. It doesn't have a cavity on the inside, but it definitely has some interesting material that you could make some cabochons or that type of thing out of. This one definitely has some interesting prospects. And then of course you have one here that has a little bit of crystalline structure inside there. But anyhow, it goes from small all the way up to this honker here. And as you see how my hand fits on it, it's quite a bit bigger than a softball. Not quite a football, but close enough. Once I get them, have a chance to get my saw out and cut some of them open, I'll probably post something to follow this up, maybe tack them on the end of the video. But that's what we found for the day. We did a lot of digging, well, prospecting I guess you could call it, looking around to see if we could find a good spot to dig. Not so much for the time we had. We were only there for about 3 hours before we took back off. This is what I managed to dig out. Mark's got about the same amount. And, well, that's how it went for the day. I'll catch you guys next time around on the next adventure.